I found my pregnant daughter sleeping in her car. Not parked for a nap, but living there. 7 months pregnant. Curled up in the back seat. Blanket pulled to her chest. Tears still wet on her face. 2 months earlier, she had a house. A husband. A life she trusted. But when I knocked on the window that night, she looked at me and whispered one sentence. That shattered everything I thought I knew. "Mom, he sold our house, and I found out after it was gone." This isn't just a story about betrayal. It's about control, silence, and how close we came to losing everything. My name is Sarah Williams. I'm 55 years old, and for over 30 years, I worked as a family law attorney in California. I've seen divorce. I've seen financial abuse. I've seen people lose everything because they trusted the wrong person. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared me for what happened to my own daughter, Emily. If you believe you really know the people you love, stay with me. Emily was 7 months pregnant when the phone calls started slowing down. At first, I told myself she was just tired. Pregnancy is exhausting. Marriage can be stressful. But then she missed my birthday. Then she stopped answering texts for days. Whenever I did hear from her, she sounded careful. Like someone was listening. Her husband, Jack, always jumped on the phone instead. "Emily's resting. She's not feeling well. She'll call you later, Mom." He always sounded calm. Too calm. One Tuesday afternoon, I decided to surprise her. No call. No warning. Just a visit. I drove to the house on Maple Street. The one they'd bought 2 years earlier. White siding. Blue door. Big oak tree out front. But when I pulled up, my heart dropped. The curtains were gone. The porch was empty. And there was a "for rent" sign in the front yard. I walked up and knocked. No answer. A neighbor stepped outside and looked at me strangely. "Oh, they moved out months ago," she said. "House was sold. New owners rented it." Sold? My daughter never told me they sold their house. I stood there on the sidewalk, my stomach twisting, realizing something was very, very wrong. And that was the moment I knew. Whatever was happening to Emily, she was hiding it. And someone was making sure she stayed silent. I left the neighborhood in a daze. My daughter's house was gone. Her life, erased without a word. I called her phone again. Straight to voicemail. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every worst-case scenario ran through my mind. Around 10:30 p.m., I decided to drive. No destination. Just instinct. That's when I saw her car. It was parked on the far edge of a shopping center lot. Engine off, lights dark, windows fogged from the inside. I recognized it instantly. Emily's car. I pulled in slowly and parked a few spaces away. My heart was pounding as I stepped out. As I got closer, I saw a blanket in the back seat. A pillow. Plastic grocery bags stuffed with clothes. My hands were shaking when I knocked on the window. Nothing. I knocked again. The blanket moved. Then her face appeared, pale, exhausted, terrified. "Mom," she whispered as she unlocked the door. Her voice cracked like she didn't trust what she was seeing. She tried to sit up, and that's when I saw her belly. 7 months pregnant. Sleeping in a car. I didn't ask questions. I didn't raise my voice. I just opened my arms, and my daughter collapsed into me, sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. "I'm sorry," she kept saying. "I didn't want you to know." I helped her into the front seat and turned on the heater. Her hands were ice cold. How long have you been here? I asked gently. She stared straight ahead. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I asked the question I was almost afraid to hear. Where's Jack? Her jaw tightened. He says I embarrassed him. That's when the story started to come out, piece by piece. Jack had told her they needed to temporarily move out of the house. Said there were repairs. Then paperwork. Then delays. He told her not to worry. Then one day, she came home and the locks were changed. He said it was a mistake. Then he stopped answering her calls. Then his mother told her, very calmly, the house was sold. Jack handled it. Emily didn't even know it was listed. When she demanded answers, Jack accused her of being emotional. Unstable. Pregnancy hormones. He said if she caused problems. If she talked to lawyers. If she told me, she'd be an unfit mother. Those were his words, and when she asked where the money went, he smiled and said, "It's not your concern anymore." She had nowhere to go. No access to the accounts. No house. No support. So she slept in her car. Afraid, pregnant, and silent. I sat there gripping the steering wheel. Realizing something terrifying, this wasn't just betrayal. This was control, and it wasn't over yet. Because the moment Jack realized Emily wasn't alone anymore, everything was about to change. That night, I took Emily home with me. Not to her house. To mine. I made up the guest room with extra pillows so she could sleep on her side. I heated soup she barely touched. She fell asleep mid-sentence, one hand resting on her belly. I sat at the kitchen table until dawn. Because one thing was clear. Jack didn't just leave her homeless. He planned this. The next morning, after Emily left for her prenatal appointment, I asked for every document she still had. Bank statements. Old emails. Mortgage paperwork saved on her phone. There wasn't much. Most of it was gone. Jack had slowly taken control over 2 years. First, he handled the bills. Then the taxes. Then the investments. He told her, "I'm better with numbers." That's how it always starts. Emily told me she remembered signing papers 6 months earlier. Jack said it was for refinancing. Lower interest, shorter term. She trusted him. She was pregnant. She was tired. That signature was the key. I went to the county recorder's office that afternoon. And there it was. The deed transfer. The sale contract. The house on Maple Street had been sold 4 months earlier. Emily's name was on the documents. But the signature? It wasn't hers, not even close. The buyer wasn't a family. It was an LLC. And that LLC? Registered to Jack's mother. That's when my hands started shaking, not from fear, but anger. I followed the money trail. The sale proceeds never went to a joint account. They went to a trust. A trust Emily wasn't listed on. Legally, it was clean. Emotionally, it was brutal. This wasn't a husband making bad decisions. This was a man erasing his wife while she was carrying his child. When Emily came home that evening, I told her everything. She cried, but this time, not from confusion. From relief. "I thought I was crazy," she said. "He kept telling me I imagined things." That's the cruelest part of financial abuse. They don't just take your money. They take your sense of reality. I told her the truth. This is fraud. And pregnancy doesn't make you powerless. That night, Jack called. First voicemail, calm. Second, irritated. Third, threatening. "Stay out of this," he said. "This will get ugly." I deleted nothing. Because threats leave trails. And trails become evidence. And evidence wins cases. Jack didn't think we would fight back. Men like him never do. 2 days after that last voicemail, a process server showed up at my door. Not with an apology. But with papers. Jack was filing for emergency custody. He claimed Emily was unstable. That she was homeless by choice. That she was mentally unfit due to pregnancy-related stress. Reading those words made my hands go cold. This wasn't about money anymore, this was about control. And children are leverage. We filed our response the same day. I requested an emergency hearing. Not just for custody. But for financial misconduct. Jack walked into court confident. Tailored suit. Calm smile. He hugged his mother before taking his seat. Emily sat beside me, visibly pregnant, hands shaking. But she didn't look down. That was new. Jack testified first. He said he sold the house with Emily's full consent. He said the money was being protected for the family. He said Emily panicked and ran away. Then he handed over copies of the documents. The judge studied them carefully, then looked at me. "Counsel," she said. "You may proceed." I asked Jack one simple question. Where was Emily on the day this contract was signed? He didn't hesitate. At home. I nodded. Then I placed a document on the screen. Emily's medical record. She was hospitalized that day. For pregnancy complications. She couldn't have been home. Jack blinked just once. But it was enough. I followed up. Can you explain how your wife signed these documents? While admitted under continuous monitoring? Silence. Then his attorney objected. Too late. The judge leaned forward. Jack's voice cracked as he tried to explain. Then came the trust. I introduced the LLC. The bank transfers. His mother's involvement. That's when his mother stood up. And spoke without permission. He did what he had to do, she snapped. She's weak. He needed to protect his assets. The courtroom went still. Even Jack turned to look at her. That sentence changed everything, because it wasn't protection. It was intent. And intent turns bad behavior into fraud. The judge ordered immediate relief. Emily granted exclusive temporary custody. Jack barred from accessing or moving additional funds. A forensic accounting review ordered. And a warning issued for contempt. As we walked out of the courtroom, Jack didn't look at us. He didn't need to. Because the truth had already spoken for him. And the final decision, it was coming fast. The court didn't take long. Once the forensic accountant finished the review, the story became impossible to deny. The house had been sold below market value. The proceeds were hidden inside a family trust. Emily's signature was forged. And Jack's mother had authorized the transfers. This wasn't miscommunication. It was a plan. 3 weeks before the final hearing, Emily went into labor. Early. Stress has a way of doing that. I was holding her hand in the hospital room when my granddaughter was born. Small, fragile, perfect. Emily cried, not from fear this time. But relief. Because for the first time in months, she felt safe. The judge's final ruling came 2 weeks later. Jack lost. Completely. The court ordered. Full ownership interest restored to Emily. Financial restitution for the stolen proceeds. Permanent protective financial orders. Supervised visitation only. And a formal fraud referral for further investigation. Jack didn't speak. Neither did his mother. They didn't need to. Their silence said everything. Emily moved into a new home. Not big, not flashy. But hers. She went back to work part-time. She started therapy. She learned something priceless. Control dressed as love is still abuse. And silence only protects the person causing harm. If you're watching this and something feels off in your relationship, If someone controls your money, your movement, or your voice, that's not love. That's a warning. And if you're a parent, don't just listen to words. Watch behavior. Watch fear. Ask twice. If this story meant something to you, please like this video. Share it with someone who might need it. And subscribe to the channel for real stories about truth, courage, and the moment silence breaks. Because the next story might be closer to home than you think.